Dear students, today we discuss chapter number 2 of history, New Kings and Kingdoms. In this chapter they are given a map. In this map there are the many kingdoms also given. You can see in this map and write the name of the some important kingdoms. But how the emergence of new dynasties, that was very important, because at the time in the 7th century many landlords, big landlords and samantas, they support to the king and they always produced gift for the king and king also support them. So that was very important. So some of the samantas, they were start to write their name Mahamandaleshwar, Mahasamanta, because they declared themselves as an independent ruler. One of them is given here, that is the Rajputas. The Rajputas, that was the overthrow the Chalukyas and overlord and perform a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. The Hiranyagarbha, literally the golden worm. It means this ritual was performed with the help of Brahmins and it was declared that become the ruler, that become the Kshatriya. Now he can rule here. So that is also known as a, was not one by birth, but after Hiranyagarbha they become the Kshatriya. Now they can rule. Before then they are just a samantas. So this is the important thing about here given, that emergence of new dynasties was a different way, because they were the lord, big landlord, samantas, they produced the gift the king, but sometime they become independent ruler and they start to write Mahamandaleshwar, Mahasamanta. How they become? They become with the help of Brahman. That rituals performed, the name was Hiranyagarbha. That is very important about the emergence of new dynasties. Now, second, administration in the kingdom. How the kingdom was administered by the administrator. They have given about some things. That is, some of the kings, they adopted high surrounding titles. High surrounding titles means Maharaja, Maharaja Dhiraj, Rajadeshwar, Chakravarti, Tribhuvan. It means they are the king of the king. They were known as king of king. That is very important. So that is a way of show that I am a very powerful and I can do anything. But in this time, those states, the resources were obtained from the producer like peasant, cattle keepers and the artisans, who were often persuaded or compelled to the surrender part of the produce. It means some part of their production they gave to the king as a tax. So there are 400 taxes. You can see here there are 400 taxes. But nowadays, just like our parents pay tax, income tax, sales tax, etc. But there are 400 taxes. The king collected different type of the taxes. These are written in the Praesestes. Praesestes means the Praesestes contain detail that may not be literally true, but tell us how rulers wanted to depreciate themselves. अर्थात प्रशस्ति मतलब क्या हो गया? प्रतिष्ठा, कि राजा की प्रतिष्ठा में ब्राह्मणों के द्वारा जो कुछ लिखा जाता है वो प्रशस्ति कहलाता है. तो उस वक्त ब्राह्मण क्या करते थे पता आपको? केवल राजा से उपहार लेने के लिए राजा की तारीफ लिखते थे. तो इसलिए कहा जाता है द प्रशस्टीज वर नॉट बी लिटरेरी ट्रू. दैट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सेकंड, here given about some of the achievements of the Nagbhata. You can see in this here. So that is very important. But kings often rewarded Brahmins by grant of land. By grant of land, because the Brahmins write many things about the king. So he also given the land as a gift. That land is known as the Brahmadeya. That is important. Now, next point is the warfare for wealth. Why is the battles? Why were the war there? Because only for wealth. Because that ruler who was very rich, very prosperous, if we attacked there, so we can also become very prosperous and so wealthy. So that is very important thing. In this chapter, you can learn about the very important is the tripartite struggle, that is known as tripartite struggle. You can see here tripartite struggle. Tripartite means there are three parties. Three parties, which were three parties? Rajputas, these are three parties, Rajputas, Gurjar Pratiharas and Palas. These are the three dynasties. But at that time, Kannauj was very powerful and prosperous kingdom, because that was a very wealthier. So, the three party, which three party? Gurjar Pratihar, Rajputas and Pals attacked many times in 100 years, but at last they defeated themselves by fighting each other, but Kannauj remained as it is. You also know about the one of the best known of the such ruler is Sultan Muhammad of Ghaznavi, Afghanistan. He ruled from 997 to 1030. You can see here he is also given about the Muhammad bin. That is Muhammad of Ghazni. That is very important. He attacked in India, especially on temples, especially in Gujarat, the Somnath temples, and that was very important. That of the Somnath, Gujarat, much of the wealth Muhammad carried away was used to create a splendid capital city of Ghazni. That is very important, and it is also written in a book. That is, Sultan Muhammad was also interested in finding out more about the people he conquered and entrusted to a scholar named Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni, he was a scholar, to write an account of the subcontinent. This Arabic work known as a Kitab-e-Hind. It means Al-Biruni write a book. The name was Kitab-e-Hind. That was very famous. That write about how he attacked in India. And Muhammad of Gauri, he also wrote about this Gauri. He attacked on the Delhi and Ajmer, and there was a fight between the Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad of Gauri. He has given about the best known Chauhan ruler was Prithviraj III from 1168 to 1192, who defeated an Afghan ruler named Sultan Muhammad Gauri in 1191 and 1192. But in the first battle of 1191 he was succeed, but in the second battle he was lost. So that was the end of the Hindu kingdom. Generally it was the turning point, because Prithviraj Chauhan was very powerful, but this battle was fought in the plain of Tarain. तराइन के मैदान पे ये लड़ाई लड़ी गई थी. So that is very important about the Muhammad Ghaznavi and Muhammad of Gauri. These were the two sultans. They also came here. Now, very simple say कि there are some of the in the south कि there were the Cholas. The Cholas, very important city, the Thanjavur. Thanjavur is also known as the temple city. Because at that time most of the rulers attacked only temples to target, because the Indian ruler either in the south or the north, they kept their money and treasure in the temples. So the every time outsider targeted only temple and show that we are the powerful, and looted all the property and kept it by themselves. Just like you can see the Muhammad Ghazni, he also looted the temple, the Somnath, and carried all the wealth to his capital city. So that was very important. But here given about the Thanjavur. So Thanjavur was very powerful at that time, and that is also, if you go in the Kanchipuram in the south, so you will look like very tall temples are there, very tall. There are some important person. That was the Raj Raja's son Rajendra I. He continued the policy even ruled by Ganga Valley. His father attacked many area and become a very powerful Raj Raja first. His son Rajendra I also continued the same policy. He also captured Sri Lanka and countries of the southern East Asia, etc. But these were spent of the money on splendid temples and bronze sculpture. there were the very splendid temples, very rich and prosperous temples, and you can see there were also one bronze temple. You can see here one picture. That is, this is a picture. This is a bronze temple. So these are important. So we will discuss in the next video about the closer look the Cholas. So that is very important. What happened in the south we will discuss in the next video. Okay. So you should properly watch and listen and then try to write a note in your book. Okay.